Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is now just 107 days away from its official release by Disney, Lucasfilm, JJ, and crew, where they will end the sequel trilogy and the Skywalker saga itself. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, I think it's pretty safe to say that by far the driving force of the hype of this movie is without a doubt Palpatine, right? Ever since we heard his laughter over at Star Wars Celebration back on, of course, April 12th, I believe it was, a lot of fans just went wild and they were very excited about his return, especially the fact that Ian McDiarmid is portraying the role of Palpatine once more to end things right. So with that being said, we do know that this movie has a lot going on for itself between Rey, Kylo, Palpatine, and more, and that there will be a lot of twists and turns and surprising moments in this movie. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very intense for Episode 9. Now, specifically, shot descriptions consisting of a sequence where it's explained that both Rey and Kylo Ren are facing Darth Sidious in a strange room of some kind that is implied to be Palpatine's new throne room. It's described that one of the sequences is said to involve a moment in which Palpatine explains how Darth Vader turned on him and begins to teach Kylo Ren a lesson about his grandfather, Darth Vader. This is where Palpatine is said to walk casually toward Ren as Sidious keeps Rey in a force-freeze state, where Palpatine rests his hands on Kylo Ren's head, where Kylo is described to have a vision of himself as a new Darth Vader. The sequence is said to involve Palpatine acknowledging Kylo's envy over his grandfather and his power that he once had, and that Palpatine begins to manipulate Ren during the scene. However, it's said that this is where Rey throws Anakin's lightsaber to Kylo, where Ben catches it and begins to duel with Sidious in this strange environment, where Rey is taken out of her force-freeze state. This is where the battle between Ren, Rey, and Sidious continues, where Palpatine is said to nearly kill Kylo Ren and hold the upper hand against both Rey and Kylo. So let's go over a couple of parts about this. Now, what I love so much about Episode 9 so far is that, yes, it's going to be a very dark movie. In fact, JJ aims to make it the darkest Star Wars movie in the Skywalker saga, even darker than that of Revenge of the Sith, which honestly I'm not quite sure if that's really possible, but that's what they're aiming to do. And hopefully, and just hopefully, they will succeed in doing so, of making it the darkest Star Wars film to date. Again, you got Palpatine back, you got a lot of dark tones being the very center of the plot of Episode 9, and I think that right then and there is enough for it to really be told in such a way. So, in this particular scene, we have a moment in which Palpatine is manipulating Ren, and basically Rey is put into a force stasis, alright? Force stasis is basically force freeze, what Kylo Ren is able to do in The Force Awakens. Now, in this moment, we have Ren being manipulated by, of course, Palpatine, and he's showing him a vision of him becoming a new Darth Vader, if you will. And this is where Ren is actually said to actually fight Palpatine again, where the fight actually continues between Rey, Ren, and Sidious. Now, the environment around them is best described as the possible location of Palpatine's throne room, since it does indeed have a throne in this particular room. So, I'm not quite sure if it's going to be the traditional type of throne room that we saw between Snoke and Palpatine, or if it is going to be something completely different that fans have never seen before. It's said to be a very strange environment that we actually have never seen in the Skywalker saga, so we have that. Maybe it's going to be based off of Ralph McQuarrie's original concept art for his throne room from Return of the Jedi, where it was based in a cave. That's a possibility, but looking past all of this, we do know that this is a moment in which Ren sees yet another vision of a dark side version of himself that is actually going to be connected to Palpatine and how he views Kylo Ren once more. So what I like about this is that this is not only a dark moment for Rey and Ren and Palpatine, but it's also showing us a moment in which an alliance is formed, once again between both Rey and Ren, similar to what was done between Rey and Kylo and the Praetorian Guards. We have a similar situation situation here, at least in this very given scenario, where they actually are fighting Palpatine once again. The fight continues, basically. They had a little break. Now, I'm not quite sure if this is a part of the flash fights or the force projection fights, whatever have you, or if this is actually them literally inside of Palpatine's new throne room, on board of whatever ship he's on or whatever kind of environment he's in of the new Sith Empire. And I think that that's exactly what JJ's trying to do. He's trying to do something very dark between these three characters toward the end of the movie in order to really set the tone that this really is going to be the darkest Star Wars film in history. And I'm really hoping that JJ will actually be able to do that. I just feel that Revenge of the Sith really can't be topped as, you know, the darkest Star Wars film out of all 9 movies. It's going to take a lot to make it a very dark film, beating Episode 3. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon.